So I'm on this, the algorithm is showing me more of this Jim Rohn guy, and I didn't know who he was until I saw a little video, and then I saw it on the machine page, and I sent it to myself so that I could remember it. So now I'm seeing more. So he had another video pop up, and I just found it so helpful, and I'm just I'm really using that in my own mind to try to keep sort of limiting beliefs away, and just kind of keep myself on track and believing in the in what I'm doing even when it gets hard. And so this video that I saw, he asks 4 questions. So the first question is why. So what's your why for doing the things that you want to do? So I've heard this on a lot of different like motivational type shit and leadership stuff and all these kind of things. So it's not a new concept, but well, none of these concepts are new, but this isn't a new one to me. Anyway, so the why behind what it is that you want to do. So like a good easy example is like somebody that's trying to achieve financial success. It's like, why do you want that? And if you don't have a strong why, and it's just sort of like, oh, because I just want to buy a nice car, and you know, I want to impress, you know, people that I don't even like with shit, you know. I don't know, I think Gary Vee said it. He said like, you're spending too much effort trying to buy shit you can't afford to impress people you don't even like, or something like that. So like if your why is like, and at the same time, like, I don't want to shit on that why, because some people that stuff is very, very important. But like, what if it isn't? What if it's just kind of what you think you're supposed to do? You think you're supposed to drive this kind of car, or you think you're supposed to do these kind of things. So that's your why. And they say that it's not, if the why isn't strong enough to really, like, when you think about it, it really hypes you up, and you're like, this is why I'm doing this. If it's not a super strong why, when things get really hard, a weak, I don't know, like a why that isn't super important to you is not going to pull you through the hard times, and it's going to be easier to give up. So then the next question he asked was, why not? And that's not about, I didn't take it like this, it's not about like coming up all the reasons why you can't, like limiting beliefs and all these kind of things. It's more of like, why not see how far you can take this thing, whatever it is you want to do in your life. Why not see how much success you can have, or why not see how good of a shape you can get in your physical body or your mind? Why not do all these things, you know? And then the one that I found that the most powerful and helpful for me is, why not you? And the thing is, like, when I thought about it, and this lecture is, it looked like, I mean, I don't know, maybe it looked like it was much older than social media. So like, I'm thinking of it on the level of like where we're at in society right now, and so most of us have social media, and we look at it and stuff, and it's pretty common for people to share like their sort of highlight reel, and you know, like I don't know, for example, like I'll be online and I'll see some shit that like represents kind of a life that I want to have, you know, like for me, one of my whys is I want to achieve as much financial success as possible so that I can rescue a bunch of animals. So I have this like vision in my mind of like having a property with like all this land, and I can just rescue as many animals as I want. I have a staff that can help me with that and all these kind of things. So for me, that's a really powerful why. So when I'm feeling discouraged, or you know, things are especially difficult, I find myself looking back to that and thinking like, well, if I don't do this, I'm not going to achieve that. And so coming back to the why not you idea, you know, a lot of times I'll see people living that sort of lifestyle. Like there's this one guy that he just has like, he has all this property, and he just has like a huge pack of dogs, and he looks like, you know, I don't know, he looks like he's doing pretty well for himself, but you know, he's walking this huge pack of rescue dogs, and all these dogs that probably would have been dead in a shelter had he not rescued them. And I see like him like walking them on his big old land and all this shit, and I'm just like, man, I really wish I had that. Like, I really wish I could do that. And so asking yourself the question is, why not you? Like, why can't I do that? If that guy did that, someone could do it, and lots of people have done that. Like, he's not the only one that pops up on my feed. There's lots of people that have exactly that, you know, like they have land that actually has like a fucking river going through it. They walk the dogs down there, and the dogs are all just like having the best lives and shit. And when I feel envious of that kind of lifestyle, you know, I think, why not? I'm starting to think now, why not me? Like, that guy did that, I could do that too. And I found it just so incredibly helpful. And the other thing, like another one of my whys is to build up Machine to be sort of like the, you know, the most iconic graffiti brand of all time, you know, and like that's a big goal, and it's like, you know, one of those goals that it's like it's going to be really hard to get there. But like I don't know if there is a most iconic brand. I mean, you know, I guess to different people is going to be different, but I want to be the one. But somebody has done something like that, and then there's businesses that like are in the same place that I want to be someday, like with their facility and their staff and all this kind of stuff, and I find it, I don't know. So sometimes I find it hard to not be discouraged, you know, when I'm seeing stuff like that, because I'm like, fuck, man, I'm still right here, you know, like, even though we're growing and all that stuff. You know, like I follow Alex and Layla Hermosi, and they're like really young, and they've achieved so much. And it's like, it's discouraging to see that stuff at 50, you know, because I'm like, what do they have that I don't have, you know? And they just made the right move, so they're, you know, worth hundreds of millions of dollars in their early 30s, you know. Lost my train of thought. Let me get back on track. But when I see those kind of things, I you know, I look at stuff like that, and I look at like companies like First Form, and they have like a huge facility and great company culture and all that stuff. And one of my whys is to build a business that has a really good culture, create jobs for people, create opportunities for the people that work for us to achieve all of their financial goals while working for us. You know, like that's a big driver for me. I really want that. I want to be able to build a company that's capable of allowing other people to realize all their dreams, you know, and that requires a really strong, you know, profitable, somewhat large business. I mean, large is a relative term. Large to me is, you know, a couple hundred employees, but that's not necessarily considered big business in America, but or in the world. I don't know, but you know, so those whys kind of pull me towards it. But then when I see other people that have the things that I want, it's I never really looked at it like, why not me? If they did it, I can do it. To a certain extent, I would be somewhat frustrated and sometimes doubtful. And so when I'm listening to this guy Jim Rohn, and he poses that question, it gives me a lot of confidence, because I think, like, why not me? Like, there's people that have done way more with way less. And a lot of times there's a lot of people that have limiting beliefs, and I have them as well. Everybody has them, but some people might see what they want, somebody achieving what they want, and they might think like, well, that guy can do it because he has this and that, and I didn't have this and that, and, you know, or I grew up this way, and all these kind of things. But it's like, what are those thoughts doing to serve you? Like, are those are thinking that you can't do it because of this and that, and that could be any limiting beliefs you want. You can just plug them in there. what is thinking that way? What is that doing to get you closer to your goals? Is it? I mean, it's definitely not, but it's actually getting you further away. So if instead of thinking like, I can't do this because of this and that, you know, within reason, I'm not even going to get into that, but if you're thinking that I can't do this because XYZ, how much further along do you think you would get if instead of saying I can't do it because of this, saying why not me? Why if someone else did it, why can't I do it too? And believing that you can. Then the last question was, why not now? You know, a good way to button it all up. Because a lot of us may have these goals and we may have these ideas of things that we want to accomplish, and we fall into that procrastination trap where we're like, okay, yeah, I can do it. Like, you go through the first 3 questions, you're like, okay, I know why I want to do it. I've gone over like, why not? Why not just give it a shot and make it happen? And why not me? I can do it. Someone else has done it. You got all that. But then, like a lot of us, we go, okay, I'm going to get to that. And then the next day, I'm going to get to that. The next day. Days keep going by and turns into months and all these kind of things. So why not now? Why not just start doing what it is that you want to do now? Start taking the steps. And I feel like that's a really powerful one, but it didn't hit me as hard because I am knee deep in the shit that I want to be doing, or trying to achieve the level of success that I need in order to do the things that I want to do. So I've already said the why not now, but at the same time, you know, these things come in ebbs and flows, and like your energy levels go up and down, and like fairly recently I found myself in a little bit of a rut, and I was like kind of forcing myself to get my tasks done. Like, I was still getting them done, but so maybe the why not now will help then. But if you have something you want to achieve, why not start it now and believe that you can do it? I mean, worst case scenario, you're going to get somewhere. I mean, you may not get to exactly where you want to get to, but you can absolutely get somewhere. Like, when I think about my business and the size that I want it to get and all the things that I want to achieve, I don't know that I'm going to get there, but I'm confident that I'm going to get somewhere really good. And I might get somewhere better than what I originally planned. But, you know, so I don't know. Try asking yourself those questions and see what kind of sorry, I keep coughing, like for some reason my throat's getting dry. But ask yourself those questions and see what it does for you. It really really hyped me up. So hopefully, I would search for Jim Ron why not, and you can watch the video yourself. All right, I'm out.
All right. Appreciate each and every one of you guys who are supporting the cause and continue to spread the love. And yeah, stay up.